Hey guys, how's it going? I'm your host, Triple C. I hope everyone's having a great day. And today I want to talk about G.I. Joe and how people keep saying that it's grounded. Mm, some of it is, a small percentage of it is grounded. And if that's what you like, then you're missing out on the rest of G.I. Joe. I'm just saying. Let's start from the beginning. From before Real American Hero, yes, it was grounded. From 1964 to 1978, this 12-inch line, all that I would consider pretty much grounded in reality because it was, sailors, soldiers, pilots, stuff like that. But from 1982, when most of us started collecting it and beyond, um, it started with the jump. Now the jump is a jetpack. Now if you look at the jetpack, it breathes fire out of it. That fire would burn your legs the second you did a backflip or any trying to maneuver to get away. You cannot keep your legs straight the entire time. I mean, unless you have very strong muscles in your legs. Even then, you still burn your butt off. Um, After that, it was a hiss. The hiss is a fantasy tank. It may be possible to make one, but it is still a fantasy tank. Um, it's a badass tank, an awesome tank, and I love it. But it is a fantasy tank, and if any of you have it, you know that's true. Um, Also, the shark. The shark is another vehicle. Now, these are just some examples. The Shark is a submarine flying aircraft. Now, it may be possible today, but back then it was sci-fi. I don't know if it is possible today because the way a shark works, it can go down deep in the water and then just shoot out of the water and fly. I don't honestly think that's feasible. I don't know for sure. I'm not a scientist and I don't make vehicles, but I don't see that being possible. At least from our human understanding. Maybe aliens. I don't know. Anyways, that's a whole nother topic. Um, but since then, we also had the Turbo Bubble, which is another one that would be considered a fantasy vehicle. This is Sophie. Sophie, say hi. She's a newest puppy. She's only 9 months old now. She's a loving puppy that we got. Someone threw her away. They left her in a home by herself. She had another puppy, another Chihuahua, that someone just tossed away and left there in a cage. And we rescued them. Um, Her and her, the other one. The other one is shy and mean. We're still working on her attitude, but a little Chihuahua and we got this terrier. She's loving though. She's teasing me right now, so she's biting on my fingers, but it don't hurt. But anyways, yeah, GI Joe since 1982, the line that everybody likes has always been sci-fi fantasy. Now, even with the cartoon, it was laser rifles. Laser rifles do not exist back then. At least to my knowledge, they didn't exist back then. That's a sci-fi, fantasy, Star Wars type of thing there. And I just I don't understand how people keep saying I want it grounded, but then they know it's not grounded. Yes, vehicles got more elaborate and, in my opinion, cooler because we wouldn't get vehicles like the Defiant, the Flag, the Night Raven, which is a sci-fi version of the SR-71 Blackbird. Um, because in we did get grounded vehicles. We got a lot of grounded vehicles, but we also got a lot of non-grounded vehicles in the line. The Snake Armor, another awesome vehicle slash mech that is sci-fi and it's very very popular. Otherwise, it would have sold out. So if you have a mech, you cannot say you only grounded stuff. It's not grounded. Now, I'm not saying you can't only like grounded G.I. Joe. That's what you like. That's what you like. What I am saying is, I don't think people understand how it affects everybody else when you disrespect it. Now, I'm not saying you can't say you don't like it. By all means, if you don't like it, say you don't like it. But don't try to convince other people what they like is wrong. It's not right. That's not right. And I've seen that a lot more recently than ever before. Partly because we're getting into the neon age of G.I. Joe. And I don't like neon green or neon pink on any of my toys. But the blue isn't bad. And red isn't bad. But I don't like bright green, and that's why I'm probably not getting overkill. I might, if I do, I probably would paint him a darker green on his chest. I'd probably cover him with a darker green. And um, Sophie, look, she's a sweetheart. But yeah, there are a lot of great stuff coming to the line, and now they have to get through all of it to get to the other great stuff too. Now, I wanted people to like 90% of G.I. Joe. There's 90% of it that I do like. The one thing for instance, the one thing I don't like, you said neon green, but I did, and I also don't like the rat. It's this hovercraft vehicle that had rotating blades on the front of it. It looks like a little mouse or something with hydrofoils on the back of it. It was supposed to be a boat, but it didn't have an underside to it. And it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good at all. It looks cheap. A lot of the, not all the toys, but a lot of the toys from, I would say, 91 to 94, not all, there's still bangers in there, look cheap, and they were built cheap. The Hammer is one of those vehicles that were built cheap. Awesome looking vehicle though. And they haven't made it into the HasLab. I hope they would improve the design to make it stronger. But yeah, that's one vehicle that looked good, but it had design Q issues. Another great vehicle, the Rage, that came in later in the line. Good girl. Okay. But yeah, the Rage is another. Let me go do some. Okay. The Rage is another great vehicle that came in that time frame. Um, there's not many that come beyond the 90, say 91 to 94 that I would classify as great vehicles. Um, there are some that come after that, you know, but not many. The Night Force and Tidal Force vehicles, I believe, came out around that time, and they are great vehicles. At least Series 2 came out of both of those around that time. But maybe they came out before. But anyways, uh, Lenny and Emily have both said many times that once they finish the Real American Hero line, um, they are moving on to other series of GI Joe. Resolute would be, I think, one that they want to do. But also, I'm sure they would redo Extreme. I'm sure they would redo Super 6. You know, uh, I would like to see Sergeant Savage's Screaming Eagles and the bad guys from those series. I'd love to see Pursuit of Cobra line. All those figures, there's a lot of great figures in that line, redone in classified form. I don't care if there's any vehicles that come out from that line, unless they are repaints of the originals. The Rage had two repaints that were really cool. The Shark had many repaints, and so did the Stinger Vamp model. But they all, you know, I'm still waiting for the Vamp Mark II and the Tiger Force Tiger Sting to come out. Hopefully, we get those eventually. And we still need a lot more Night Force vehicles too that can possibly come out. Don't we? Yes, we do. But yeah, now I want people that love with sub teams. I think the sub teams are awesome, and I think that we should get more characters for our sub teams. I think we should finish off some of the sub teams that are out there. I think we should finish off the Man Marauders. I think we should finish it off with HasLab though, because I think we should get the Warthog. Now, here's the thing. If we get the Hydrofoil, a great vehicle, a counter to the Hydrofoil could be the Warthog. But the Warthog does float, well the original one did. And it holds a lot of characters. Now I know a lot of people want the whale. The whale, I would love the whale, but I really want the Night Force version of the whale. But I do want Carter. So I would probably get the whale and made the whale. But I think if we get the Hydrofoil this year, we would probably get the whale next year, or a vehicle equal to that. But Joe's have more vehicles for the water than the Cobras do. They vehicles, I mean. Because they have the Tiger Ray, the Night Ray, the G.I. Joe or Moray. They have the Night Force Whale, the Night. He's called the Night Striker, but it's the Night Force Whale and the regular whale. They have the Tiger Shark, which is a big vehicle. I wouldn't want the Marcus to be a HasLab, even though it probably could be, because we've gotten boats that size already in different lines from Hasbro. We got that boat from what was it? That I forgot the name of that game. Um, but they built boats that big that would be the size of the Warrior Raid for $100. So we know that it's possible. Um, I I just don't want another Tiger Force vehicle locked in HasLab either. Because if the moccasin is um, greenlit as a HasLab, that means the Tiger Shark is locked until the moccasin gets funded, and then 3 years down the line we'll have a Tiger Shark. I'd rather have a Tiger Shark sooner rather than later. Okay, now that brings me to the last thing I want to talk about. Well, last main thing is the HasLabs. Now there are two options that people are thinking of right now. I think there's more possibilities than this too, but for like the Stun or Demon are possibilities, but highly unlikely for a Demon right now. Also, the Cobra Wolf was another one. But the two that people are talking about the most are the Hydrofoil and the Thunder Machine. Now, personally, I'd rather have a Thunder Machine as a direct retail order. I don't know about you guys, but that would be my way of having the Thunder Machine. I prefer that. Um, and I would much rather have the Hydrofoil. I'd rather have a Demon or a Stun right now, but the Hydrofoil I think would be the most likely scenario right now. Simply because we've done land and air, we need to do sea. And I really want a tactical battle platform for a base. And I think our two bases, if we get a base for classified, there are two options. There is the Cobra Mountain. Excuse me, guys, I apologize. There's a Cobra Mountain, and then there's the tactical battle platform. You could probably also throw in the headquarters, because that is nothing but walls and the floor, and that would be a great HasLab. But I can see them doing the tactical battle platform first, especially if we get the whale and the hydrofoil. And I can see them doing Cobra Mountain as the base to test out whether or not we get bases or not. Now, the only way I can see us getting a terror drone is if you get it in quarters. Okay? You get two doors for garages, and you get the top part, but the quarter so you can sit in the corner of your room. And if you want all 4 pieces, you have to buy all 4 pieces. And if you buy all 4, you can get the what do you call it? The fire bat with it. I would not lock the fire bat behind the HasLab. I would have it as a bonus, saying, "Here's a bonus vehicle for buying 4 of them." And I would still sell the fire bat later on by itself. Now, this this goes with something that I've been seeing again, being Wild Bills come out, or about Wild Bill being locked behind Hazard. He should have stayed there. No, he should not have. There's no reason at all any of these figures should be locked behind HasLab. We're getting them first for HasLab. Let us have that. That's fine. But then let other people have a chance to get them. There's no reason whatsoever not to sell them again. Especially if there's new people coming to the line and they didn't have a chance to get the originals. And I think that is smart for Hasbro to do it. And the same as Serpentor. I think we're going to get another Serpentor eventually, even though he came with the cherry and that is the primo version of Serpentor. I think we will see another Serpentor eventually. We've already got a Mindbender, we've already got a Cobra Commander. And I'm sure we'll see a Wild Weasel eventually. I don't see people's issue with them reissuing figures and vehicles in different color schemes or different paint jobs or slightly different decos, because you have the original ones. The original ones are the original ones. And you're taking out money that Hasbro could use to give us new stuff. You have to understand that Hasbro needs to do the repaints. They need to do the reissues in order to give us new stuff. Now, we will see figures reissued. That's just a given. They will be slightly different decos. Sometimes they'll be improved. Sometimes the original will be the best one. Like Major Blood. The new one's awesome for the 788 squad because it has a little bit of red on it. But a necklace, they came with the dog tags. The original one had a better necklace on it, a better paint job on the necklace. I'm not a fan of that piece anyways because it doesn't lay down. It should have been a little chain with little dog tags on it. I don't think that would be too hard to make that. They had little beads they could use to do that kind of stuff. So that should have been a chain that they put on him. But Major Blood is one of the best characters out there. I mean, he's still in my top 10 favorite characters. And the new one replaced the old one for me because I put the new one with the 78 squad. And I can't wait for more 78 to come out. I'm glad they're not abandoning that. Because we're getting the Turbo 78. I just wish that Turbo was sold separately. That's not a Syfy vehicle. Some people may not like it, the Turbo Bubble, but it is a popular vehicle. And that would never work in real life. It would go straight up and come down. That would be all it could do. There's no wings on it for it to... I mean, it has the tail rudders, but I don't think that would do much good for you. It is a cool vehicle though, and it's a cool concept for a Syfy vehicle. And I love Turbo Bubble. Okay. That is all I have to say about that stuff. I just wanted to get that off my chest and let you guys digest that. And I wanted your opinion on that kind of stuff too. Oh, about the Syfy element. Are you for the Syfy element of G.I. Joe or are you against it? Now you can't say against it if you have Syfy vehicles. If you have a turbo, you're not against it. If you have it's one or the other. You're either for it or you're against it. Now I have a couple of videos coming up this month and this week. I have a mailbag coming out. I am working on another short, so we're filming it. We could probably put it out next week. They are my last shorts I'll be doing for a while because I got packing. I think we're gonna be selling the house at the end of the month, so I gotta put all my toys away. And they'll be packed up, so I only will be doing reviews until we sell that house. And yeah, I think G.I. Joe has a long life ahead of it. Like I said, I don't think we'll see anything vehicle-wise beyond 94 unless it's a repaint from the vehicles from 82 to 94. Those are the best vehicles, and they know it too. They know that those are the best vehicles. And there are many versions of every single vehicle that has come out. So they can tap into those vehicles later down the line if they wanted to. I'm not saying that we'll ever see it, but the Sky Striker and Night Raven all have different versions of them. The only ones I don't think we'll see Rolling Thunder, even though that's one of Lenny's favorites. If we do, it would be in the future. I think we'll see a basis for that. And I think that the big vehicles that we could see, the two that we can see are the Condor, because it splits into two and it can actually fit into a decent box. And the same with the Thunderclap. I think the Thunderclap is the most likely scenario for a large vehicle because it's three vehicles in one, basically. But yeah, I'm not saying that we will see those. I'm saying those are the most likely scenarios. As far as air jets go, the Conquest is probably high on the list for the G.I. Joe. The Firebat we'll see a lot more smaller vehicles, I'm sure. Like the Firebat, the Fang, I'm sure we'll get eventually. And that one helicopter, I forgot the name of it. It's a tiny little helicopter. But it came with a general originally, and then it came separately. The general's another one I don't think we'll ever see either. I don't think we'll ever see a general. That would be the size of a coffee table. Be cool, but I don't see it ever happening. And they would need to make it strong enough for you to move the room because it'd be too big to fit through a doorway. They probably need to put a handle on it so you can lift it up and take it with you. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever see a mobile command center, the MMC. The ROCC, the Rolling Operation Command Center, is a possibility, but unlikely. There are so many awesome vehicles they can do for the line. I don't see them getting to all of them. I see them getting to the majority of the ones from 82 to 94. Maybe one or two after that. Maybe. I don't know, maybe. But I do know that we will go beyond, figure wise, we will go beyond 94. It didn't, G.I. Joe did not end there. It ended, the only time it ever ended was at 78 to 82. That was the only time since 1964 that G.I. Joe was not on shelves. That's it. It's been on shelves in stores ever since then. So, you tell me, you really think G.I. Joe's going anywhere? Do you really think that G.I. Joe's going to end anytime soon? Even if they have a few figures that you guys don't like, or a few vehicles you guys don't like, doesn't mean the line's going to end. It doesn't. There's too much money into this line and too much potential for this line, especially when we get to the later stuff, later characters. I mean, and the Energon, I'm sure we'll get to the Energon stuff and comic book stuff eventually too. So we have massive way to go for G.I. Joe. Now, like I said in the previous video, we have about 300 plus the characters to go for Real American Hero. So that's about 6 years. Maybe 5. 5 or 6 years. So, I mean, after that, we will see a change in what happens to G.I. Joe. Because we will get through all of this stuff. They've already mentioned giving us hints of Headman, giving us hints of Cesspool now with the Toxic Viper coming out. And I can't wait for the Toxic Viper. But that means we'll get a Toxic Zombie also, which means more zombies for me. And I like my zombies in G.I. Joe. I do. Now, that's that thing I want to talk about too. And I forgot about this. Monsters are a part of G.I. Joe. Now, if you recall the episode where I think it's called Iceberg Goes South, he gets turned into a whale by Dr. Mindbender. But do you remember everything else in those cages? The Walrus Man, the Werewolf Man, the Polar Bear men that were in cages. They talked about Dracula because he was part of Serpentor. Serpentor is a monster himself. He is a Frankenstein monster. All the monsters in the movie, the original cartoon movie, the giant insects, and giant bugs, and even Globulus is a monster. And so is Nemesis Immortal or Nemesis Enforcer, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, monster. Plus, there's a giant blob monster in one of the episodes that was eating everything in his path. So I mean, and there's aliens and bio vipers and stuff like that. There's even zombie vipers in the line. Not toxic zombies, but zombie vipers. And the Morlocks are monsters also. So there are monsters in the line. You don't have to like them. You don't have to acknowledge them. But don't disrespect the figures because somebody else does like those figures. You can say you don't like them, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care if you say you don't like them, that's up to you. You can say you only like real world stuff, that's fine, it's up to you. But try not to convince other people this is the only way G.I. Joe should be. It's not. G.I. Joe is a sci-fi fantasy world of military. It is not just one thing. It is sci-fi. It is fantasy. It is military. That's all I wanted to say to you guys. And I thank you all for watching. If you got to the end of this video, I hope you guys hit the like button for me and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more videos like this very soon, hopefully. And I will have a new vehicle coming in the next few weeks. Probably towards the end of the month. And I have a mailbag. I think I already said this. I have a mailbag this week. So I will see you guys in the next video. This is Triple C signing off. And remember, Cobra rules! Bye guys.